been a pretty big week for the Halloween yarn community. We got another company announcing their Halloween lineup. So Hobbii Halloween, Hobbii Yarn. I just naturally think of this company when it comes to Halloween yarn because they do it really well and they have multiple lineups. So it is actually just Hobbii.com, not Hobbii Halloween. It very easily could be. So I'm not gonna say that this is officially their entire Halloween lineup because we saw it coming in waves, very similar to what they did last year. They brought a couple of lines back from previous years. I'm assuming it's the ones that we loved and obviously like they're big sellers type of deal. So first up we have the Twister Halloween and then the Universe XL Halloween, which is the 98% acrylic, and it does have the metallic strand running through it. I think so. We'll do a close-up of it. But anyways, when you type in Halloween on their website, this is what you're first gonna see. So the two lines that are returning, and they are already on sale. If they're following the trend that they did last year, they released it to us at a discounted price. Like the Universe XL, it's 59% off. So $580 per skein, and then the Twisted Halloween is 56% off, and that's the 55% cotton, 45% acrylic, the big chunky cakes. I don't have any of those left in the Yarn Dungeon. Let's just go to that one right away, actually. Twisted Halloween, limited edition, sports weight yarn. We have 4 different colors this year returning. None of them are new. That one I stocked up on last year and made so many cardigans from. So if it's similar to what they did last year, this is not going to last. This is just an introduction. Welcome to Hobbii Halloween. Here is like a fun discounted price, and then by this time next week, it will be full price again. So if you love any of these, check these out first. There is quite a bit of brand new yarn too, and we have a wide variety. So the next thing that we're scrolling down to see, we have some neon yarn explosion. I am so hoping that once we get to read this little blurb about every single one of these, because like I haven't read them yet. You and I, we're experiencing this together for the first time. I'm very, very hopeful that they're UV reactive. They had some sock yarn like that last year, so I'm hoping that one is. Okay, and then here's some returning from last year. We have the sock yarn, that is UV reactive. Then we have this one, which is totally new. If you like to do amigurumi, that would be some really good yarn to look into, and then the sock yarn. You can tell which ones are new, obviously, because they have the discounted price on the last year's lineup, but they also have different labeling for them. Let's just go down the lineup. Okay, so back to the Twister Halloween. These cakes are some of my favorites. Okay, so we have the ghouls. Got a little witchy purple, black, and pumpkin-y color for this one. Every single one of these I have used and worked up before. It's just a line that I really love. I don't know that I'm gonna get any this year just because I worked through so many of them last year. They are amazing. I mean, the cotton acrylic blend, it just works so well. If you're looking to make some Halloween pieces like wearables, but you don't want 100% wool, this is a really good option to look into. The drape from it is just so beautiful. If you like to do the hexagon cardigans, this is the line. Seriously, check this one out. Next up, we have the Smashed Pumpkin, another favorite of mine last year. 2 different hexagon cardigans with this one. I ended up gifting both of them away and like huge hit. Bright Nights, another color that is just so intense. You can tell from the picture that it's gonna be like that, but until you work it up, you don't really know the intensity of that blue. It is just stunning. And then the last one, the All Hallows Eve, which I got, I don't even remember how many last year. I used it for literally everything. Not just cardigans, but I made totes from it. I made leg warmers. I made mittens, I made beanies, I made scarves. Like, this was such a freaking cool one. I will say that this one does work best if you can use the entire cake for whatever project you're doing. So like the beanies and the fingerless mitts that I made, I had to kind of color pool and pick out the part that I wanted because there is a lot of yarn in this. Okay, so let's just go down to the information. Weight, there's 8.8 ounces, 1,094 yards. Like, it is a lot. You get into it thinking that it's not that much because you see the size of the cake and it's just basically like that. You're like, okay, cool. Keep in mind, it's a DK weight yarn, suggesting to use what, a size 4 for crochet hook? 4 millimeters all the way up to a 5, it says. I think I used a 4 though throughout everything. It is machine wash, lay flat to dry, and I have thrown it in the washer many times. Like this one, I don't really take care of it. It's not like a delicate piece of wearable to me. Make sure you go through all of the descriptions down here too. They have like a fun little blurb for everything. And then they also have some suggestions. Like if you're looking at the older one, there is some patterns, there are some reviews. So for this line, 31 reviews, 118 pattern suggestions. Not every single pattern is going to be a Halloween themed, because this lineup, you can find it on their site with other different colorways. So it's kind of like a staple that they have. They just made it into a limited edition Halloween version. If you like shawls, there's a ton of those here. Again, a bunch of wearables. I kind of want to make that midi dress. That looks amazing. The next one that came back, Universe XL Halloween, limited edition, light worsted DK weight yarn. 98% acrylic, 2% polyester. I was so excited when they came out with this line last year. They, in previous years, have been very heavy on the wool. Not all of us can use wool, or we live areas where it's just not practical to use wool, but we all want the spooky yarn. I feel like they listened and they came out with a lot of variety this year, or much more than they've had in the past. This one is fantastic for things like wraps, beanies, and fingerless mitts. It's one that you don't need to use the entire thing. It kind of just unfolds very quickly and then repeats itself. Again, this one's on sale, $5.80 per skein. What is the name of that one that I have? This one was called Dark Matter. Then we have Intergalactic Monster, all of the pastel ghouls. Here we go. If you've gotten some of the amazing decor that's out right now at Michael's and Home Goods, you want to do something to match that, here you go. Zombie Planet, it has made its return. I'm so freaking excited about this one. I will be getting more of this, even though I have so many projects from it already. It is just my cult favorite. Like, I go back to it every single year. As long as they put it out, I will buy it, I will get more, I will plan different projects for it. Just, there is no end to my love for Zombie Planet. And the last one is Horror Halo, just a beautiful witchy purple. And it's really pretty when you see it worked up too. Do they have those pictures actually? I think if you scroll through, yes. Keep scrolling through so you can see the gradient of every color. There we have Zombie Planet. How freaking cool is that one? Keep in mind, this is the one that does have the metallic strand through it. So for wearables and stuff, I would suggest just doing like a tiny little swatch of it first and kind of seeing how it feels on your hands, working it up, and then if it's okay with that, kind of have the swatch on the inside of your wrist, or like on, you know, if you're gonna do a sweater or something like that. We do have one Halloween pattern. That's exciting. This is a scarf and it's a free pattern. Imagine that in Zombie Planet, you know? So it gives you the length of what the scarf is with and without the fringe. I'm just not a fringe tassel type of ghoul. I never put that stuff on any of my blankets or my wearables, but it does look nice this way. Another one that is machine washable, don't tumble dry it. This one, obviously, the metallic strand will get all squished up and or just burned and snapped. It would just be a disaster. So lay it flat to dry. And then the Halloween sock yarn that is returning from last year. This is the 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. Only 5 returning from last year. So you can see all the way down here, this one is numbered 7. We had quite a few that came out, and these are the only ones that returned. Zombie Planet, or I can't really remember what that one is named, but the green one, very happy, and also that one. The classic Halloween colors. I really love this label that they have too, because there's a little tiny black cat right next to a pumpkin and a candle. 53% off. It's $6.20 per skein of yarn. From this, I can make an entire pair of socks. I haven't tried it on my knitting machine yet, so I think I need to get a couple of these just to try it. It says you could put it in the washer again. Don't tumble dry it. Like, this is just way too much wool to even risk that. It would come out like super tiny. Okay, but what are the ones that we actually got? Creepy socks. That green is UV reactive. I'm not gonna say that it's glow in the dark, but I made a pair of socks with it on my Addy knitting machine last year, and it did have a little reactivity from the UV lights that I have in the yarn dungeon. So this is Scary Sock with the purple, orange, and black all throughout it. It is called Zombie Socks. Perfect. Absolute yes for me. Don't even need to think about this one. The green, it's just more vibrant. Obviously, there's a lot more of it, but going into things like haunted houses, it is just stunning. Next, we have Vampire Socks. Hot pink, gray, and black. And this one, the pink definitely pops. And the last one is the Shocking Sock. Just your classic Halloween colors. Another one that's a staple for me though. So the zombie one and the Shocking Sock, I'm going to add that to my cart. The other ones I love, but like I said, I've made them before. I have 22 reviews, no pattern suggestions. Okay. There's 100 grams in here and 459 yards. Fingering sock weight yarn, suggesting 3mm or 2.5mm. I think I used a 3.5 last year. But obviously, I mean, it's fingering weight yarn, so you can use whatever size works best for the stitch that you have and whatever pattern you're using as well. Last year we got its sister version, which was an acrylic with nylon in it, and I'm not seeing that one return, which is kind of sad because I did love that one. There are two different places that you need to find it. So the Halloween Hobbii, then if you scroll all the way down, there's this little section of the fun stuff. So you can get into the point store. If you order from Hobbii, you might as well sign up for that. It's just basically free points for every time you order stuff, and it builds up pretty quickly. And then in their point store, they have things like yarn needles and patterns. There's some yarn actually that is specific to that shop. Like, you can't buy it. You can only use the points in order to get it. So it's kind of fun. But anyways, there is new patterns and new products. So click on the new products part. And here you see that there is only a couple of the Halloween items. So make sure that you're checking out this spot and also type in Halloween yarn. Otherwise, you're not gonna see the whole lineup. Eventually, it's gonna be like on their front page. I mean, within the next week or two, they're gonna start promoting Halloween and then it'll all be right there. But if you're only looking at one of these sections, you're not gonna see the entire lineup. Okay, so let's go to their new stuff that they have out now. The Honey Bunny Candy Halloween. This is a yarn that I already know that I love. The Honey Bunny Candy and Honey Bunny, just like their normal lineup. They have Honey Bunny Shine, Honey Bunny Big, Honey Bunny Candy Candy Minis. And the minis, you can only get that in the store. So right here, it says 3,000 points. That's worth it. Like, if you have a bunch of points built up, get the Honey Bunny Candy Minis. Like, they are so freaking fun. And if you like to make stuffies, little amigurumi things, there are 3 different colors available for the Halloween Honey Bunny Candy. Maybe we'll see a couple more colors with this. I feel like this is just a really popular line that they have. But then again, they do have purples in their other lineup, so maybe this was just like the only 3 that they didn't have that looked specific to Halloween. So the orange is very well named Pumpkin. The speckles throughout it, I didn't think that I was gonna like that at first. I was like, no, I kind of just want it plain. You want the speckles. It's so freaking cool. Like, no matter what you make from it, it is just a fun play on this type of yarn. And I have so much bulky yarn that's just plain color anyways. The fact that it has a little bit of confetti throughout it is super fun. This one that you know I am just gonna stock up on. I don't have anything planned for it, but we're gonna figure it out as we go. Poisoned Potion. Love the name, adore the color. Maybe this is UV reactive. I feel like that's a missed opportunity if it's not. And then the last one we have, it's black with confetti and its named is Zombie. Not entirely sure why we went that direction with it. Normally when I think of zombie, it's like some sort of green. That's okay. They have 182 pattern suggestions for this. No reviews. Like I said, this is just brand new. People haven't even got their hands on it yet. There is even a couple of Halloween patterns. So we have Buffy the Bat, Pumpkin Bear, the Ghost Candy and Shine, lots of them, and their amigurumi patterns are really, really fun and super beginner friendly. Like, it'll tell you on there how beginner friendly it is, but you can, just from looking at a lot of these, you can see it's a nice small bite-sized type of project. Like, let's tap on the plush witch hat. This is like an actual oh, this is a wearable hat. Okay, I kind of need to do this one now. I thought this was gonna be for like a plushie, like a tiny version of a witch hat. No, It's a human size hat. This is awesome. Okay, now I know what we're gonna do. Create an amazing crochet witch hat for all of your friends using this Halloween crochet pattern. Super easy, beginner friendly, fast and pleasant to crochet with plushy yarn. $3.50 for this pattern, which I'm gonna buy this because that is way too fun. I love it when people review too because they can add their own pictures of what they did with it. So, I mean, they did the black yarn or the zombie yarn with this one. I kind of want to do the green, the poisonous potion. I just feel like that would be a good one. It looks like this is all the same as the honey bunny candy. The only thing that's changed is the color. So I'm guessing the formula is the same, but I do have honey bunny shine, honey bunny candy, and so when I get this in the mail, we can do a little comparison between all of them. 6mm hook. It's a super bulky, 100 grams and 131 yards. So it is pretty small. If you're wanting to make bigger plushies, you're gonna need quite a few of these. It doesn't say for the hat how many I'm gonna need. So actually, I'm just gonna buy that pattern first, especially because this yarn has a long ways to travel to me. I don't wanna order it and then not have enough, get like halfway through the witch hat or something like that. That would be so sad. It will be a pleasure to get crafty with our honey bunny candy Halloween, and we promise you that it cannot get more playful than this. It can be turned into any projects, amigurumi, home decor projects, pillows. I've used the honey bunny candy for, like pillowcases, pillow shams, and garments for adult and children alike. A sweater, I didn't even think about that, but the poisonous potion in a sweater, that would be so cozy. Just like a jammy sweater to get all like snuggled up, so I wouldn't even need a blanket then. All right, we'll start with the witch hat, and then if I love it, we'll do some wearables with it. Next in the new lineup, we have the Halloween Silly Sock Yarn. So we have Murky Pumpkin. These definitely are UV reactive. That entire lineup last year was, and it was just beautiful. Then for the neon green, we have Poisonous, adding to cart immediately. Just all the slimy green. I mean, you already know that, right? And then the last one is Wicked Witch, a pink with purple stripe all throughout it. The pinks actually are really cool in the UV light too. $13.10 per skein right now. If you buy more at a time, I forgot to mention that too, if there's like a line that you really like the candy Halloween one, and you're gonna make a really big plushie, make sure that you check down here when you select the quantity. They are not all the same, so you have to check every single lineup. So if you find a lineup of this Halloween yarn that you like, but you're kind of worried about it since it is a limited edition, they do suggestions and they'll tell you which ones they have in stock pretty much for like their staple go-to lineups. Like these ones, they're in their store year round. So the colors aren't going to be the same, but the actual yarn is going to be. And actually, I find a lot of colors that I like in here. Next up is the Horizon Halloween, which is probably the one that I'm most excited for, just because of the classic Halloween colors. Orange and slime green with black. So many patterns come to mind right now. What are you actually called? Classic Halloween. There we go. So here is a close-up of the classic Halloween. Sweater would be amazing with this. And I love the feel of it too. What is the actual, it's 100% acrylic. Yeah, so that's why I like it. I've used it for many different patterns, not the Halloween version, but again, what do they have? It's just called Horizon. There we go. And they have a ton of colorways in that. It's obviously a fan favorite. $22 per cake. We have Witch Love. Ooh, I like that one too. I think I need to get at least one of each of these. And then Spooky Spell. Okay, but this one close up, actually I like even more. It's like the first two combined. We have the gray, the purple, the green, the orange, black all throughout it. Okay, this one as a sweater, for sure. This one starts the discount right at 2 pieces. So you save 12% if you get 2, and then again, it goes all the way up to 35%. The new ones, especially this lineup, I'm not going to wait to see if it goes on sale. They do a couple of Halloween sales before October, and then they do one at the end of October. So basically anything that's left over, they will have some sort of deal going on with it. 100% acrylic, There's 200 grams in here, 601 yards. It's a light worsted DK weight, suggesting a 5mm crochet hook, which is my absolute favorite crochet hook size to use for sweaters and cardigans. I can just like fly with that. Horizon Halloween, a premium 100% acrylic yarn. It is processed in several steps that are similar to the processing of wool. The acrylic is combed, which makes it richer and extra soft. It does have a fluffier feel to it, you know? This is my favorite line. Horizon Halloween, there we go. Pattern and suggestions. There's 9 pattern suggestions here. Hexagon cardigan, we got some blankets, and a couple of sweater vests, all of which would look amazing with the spooky colors. Then we have the Friends Cotton. This is a fingering weight sock yarn, so maybe this is why we didn't get the acrylic sock yarn come back from last year, because we have these packs instead. So the first one up is Halloween Frenzy. Kind of fun. Every single one of these has like a stripe action going throughout it. If you're gonna make socks, this is probably what I would go with out of the pack, just because it would look amazing to see the colorwork play out. $17 for every pack, and you can save all the way up to 38% for this one. Next up we have Witchcraft. Okay, I'm actually not gonna say which is my favorite because I feel like I like every single one of these, and as a pair of socks, they're all just gonna work. Also, for my Halloween Village, this actually would be nice since it's the 100% cotton. I was kind of waiting for this stuff to come out from Hobbii too. I have like a couple of little pieces like trees and tombstones that I wanted to wait to get some cotton yarn. They have Friends Cotton Color Pack, and Friends Cotton Print. So those are the ones that they have year round. And I do stock up on that on like the basic colors. We have the black, the white, the red. I think there is some orange and yellow that I get throughout there as well. The pattern suggestion, 289. So people love this one, and there is a lot to look through. The last pack is called Pumpkin Fun. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of each of these packs just to play around with. Also, to get this pumpkin color to make a couple for my Halloween Village, I was debating whether I wanted to do like a little section to have a pumpkin patch started, but now that these colorways came out, I think I'm going to have to. So like just like the tiniest little pumpkins ever, and then make some vines for them too. That'd be so fun. And then a sign that says pumpkin patch. Finger and weight sock yarn suggests a 2.5mm all the way up to a 3. You can throw it in the wash. It says not to tumble dry it, just to lay it flat. Cotton is a great, strong, durable, breathable, absorbent, and lightweight natural fiber. The Halloween pack has no less than all of these characteristics, and it's made out of 4 threads spun together. These wicked 6-skein packs contain a bright, spooky mix of printed and solid skeins from our Friends Cotton range. It says need inspiration, check below. Like I said, there are so many patterns from this already. It's kind of ridiculous. Literally anything and everything that you've wanted to make using cotton is right here. A ton of these are free too. And that is pretty much everything for this year's Halloween lineup so far. I'm not gonna say that it's official. Who knows? But there are 4 brand new collections that they've added and 3 that have made a return from last year. Also, that's adorable. Look at this cute little pumpkin dude. The Plus, that's where you can pay a monthly subscription and then you get access to all of the patterns that are in Hobbii Plus. Now, a lot of these patterns are in the Pattern Plus too. If you're planning on making a bunch of these for Halloween, it would probably be best to get into the Plus just to see if you like it for the month. Like we have a little Halloween bunting right there. Do a little color work action. It's definitely worth checking out anyways. Which ones are you excited about? So like I said, the Horizon one, top of list, then the cotton, and then the sock ones. I mean, all of them, all of the above for me, but the Horizon, definitely, that is my most anticipated, that I'm ready to like have in hand and play around with a little bit. See if I need to add a couple of more cardigans to my list of things that I need to make. I did say yesterday that I was going to show you some of my arcane fiberwork yarn worked up because I got some new Halloween ones. I have a little bit started for the 3 colors that I got. First up we have I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost. Yeah, I don't really need to say anything about this one. I knew it was gonna be my favorite just because it's slimy green. And then we have this section right here, which is called Avocado. So this is the bottom of the cropped cardigan that I'm making. I probably could have gotten a lot further on this last night if I didn't split my time between 3 of them, but totally worth it. I have no regrets on that because this next one is called Creepin' It Real. Look at that. Beautiful. And this stuff is super soft. I know I keep saying that about their yarn, but it really is. It's like one of my favorites to make cardigans from and sweaters, and that's why I'm making 3 brand new ones. Actually 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 going right now, including this one that's almost done, the Jack Skellington inspired sweater, the Pennywise inspired I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts, the Creepin' It Real, and the very last one is my Hexmas sweater that I'm getting started on, which these are my colors. So it might not actually be a through and through Hexmas sweater. Like I might just wear this all year round, to be honest. So the top part right here is Krampus is Coming to Town, and then the bottom color is just called Bright Red, which I feel is very fitting. Because look at this thing all caked up. It's a little bit of a mess right now because I've been using it, but it is just intense red. Like this is how I like my red yarn. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going on this tonight. Hopefully I can get these 3 backs like fully done and then start working on the front part too. I can feel pretty confident in saying that the pattern for it is also going to be finished. I mean, I will have made it 5 different times then. I love the drape, I love the feel of it, and it's just been moving a lot faster. So like this one, it took some time because I did the front over quite a few different times. Oh, the other thing is I wanted to do some cording on my Lisette fork too, to like go through here so it has like a little tie with it. I think I'm still gonna do that actually. For our blanket crochet along that we're working the 100 nights down to, today is an off day. We don't have anything that we need to do to work up on this pattern. The date just got missed, so 88 nights to Halloween. It's just a freebie night. We do have a movie that we're watching though, which kind of worked out perfectly for me though, because I can put all my attention and energy to these cardigans for the evening. If you want to get ahead, you definitely can. Like if you're coming up to like this week is a little bit busy for you and you don't know if you're gonna have time to work on it every single night, feel free to jump ahead. Otherwise, I'm gonna enjoy this down day and the movie that we're gonna watch. Let's go over to my little movie section here. Another summerween campy horror movie. We're gonna be watching The Meg tonight. I love ocean horror movies. And this one is just so over the top. Big shark, big action, big fun. And bonus for the night, if you love The Meg, there is also The Meg 2, which personally, I like that one almost a little bit better because it is so ridiculous, so over the top. I actually did go in theaters to see that one, and it was well worth it because I mean, like you just were engulfed in it. Giant ocean, giant shark, a lot of other characters pop up in there as well. I've actually already watched this 3 different times this summer. All right, ghouls, that's it for today. So enjoy your down night from our crochet along. Have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you ghouls tomorrow.